Well, good evening and welcome to the preview of Happy Valley. No jackpots this week, so basically the TT and the 6 up got very little interest or no interest at all for us this week. We were waiting for days where there is a jackpot and extra money up for grabs. It'll be a basic pool, so we'll stay right out of that. It's not a bad card. There's 2 races I've identified that I think we've got a chance where we might be able to play a Quinella or something along those lines. There may be a bit of value. I mean, the final market will determine whether we get involved at all. We're not going to be playing any Quinellas unless our horses are between, well, at least 10 to 1 and greater. So that's what we're looking to do. At this stage, both races fit the criteria, but obviously things change and it is a very early market. So we will wait until probably 5:30 p.m. West WA time before we decide. And then obviously if we bet, we'll upload everything like we normally do. We go to race 1. Now this is one of the races that I think there's a chance. I don't like any of the favourites. The first 3 in the betting don't actually rate for me. I think they've all got convictions. Shanghai Pioneer, it's the favourite. Storm Barrier 1, that's no favours for it. Hasn't got any early speed. Plus it's coming back from 1200 to 1000. Again, that's no favours. And more importantly, this horse has never run 2 good races in its life back to back. So to be buttering up to this at 2 to 1 or 5 to 2, I don't think so. Gracie Tom, it'll get back to near last and be running on as it always does. That's the second favourite. Don't want to have any bar of it. And Novell Start, it's drawn bad and there's a bit of speed here, so it could get trapped out 3 and 4 wide. So that's the 3 favourites, and they've all got a little bit against them. So not a bad race to consider perhaps a Q and maybe even the start of a parlay QP. As I say, we'll have a closer look at it tomorrow when we get a better idea of the likely market. I've got number 3, Diamond Angel, on top now. This is racing really well. Bit unlucky last start. Back to the 1,000 metres here at the Valley. I think this will suit. Good draw, so it'll get up on the speed. Happy Goal. This is finally drawn a decent marble. Hasn't done anything great to date, but at 12 or 14 to 1, it's over the mark, over the odds for me in a race like this. Young Supreme runs its best races here. They go to Sha-Tin to give it a warm-up every now and then. Track work's been good, so it goes in. And the other 2 that I think have got a chance are number 4, Highland Dragon. This is an interesting one. Trialled really well going to the front, and then all of a sudden, first up, they drag it back to last, but it's drawn barrier 2 this time. Wouldn't be surprised to see it ping out up onto the speed. It's around 10 to 1 at the moment, so it goes in. And Oriental Fantasia, now this was a good run last start, found plenty of trouble. The barrier's not going to help, of course, but at 25 or 33 to 1, happy to include it in the 5 chances in the first leg. 3 on top from 11, 7, 4 and 2. The risky favourites are the 5, the 6 and the 1. Go to race 2, the shocking race. 8 runners. May as well not even have this race on. Lucky Omens is probably going to start short and should beat these. Hey Hey Posh, Great and Beyond, and Indigo Way look the best of the rest. Maybe Ride with the Wind if it actually puts its best foot forward. Could give it a shake. Barrera goes on, so that's going to shave about 10 points off its odds. He's starting to get a rep up here as the new Douglas White, and everything he throws his leg over now is starting well under the odds. I mean, he was on 8 favourites on Sunday. He got the money on 2 of them, so there's going to be a lot of races that he's riding in with a weak favourite. So we'll be keeping our eye out for that and see if we can extract a bit of value for ourselves this season. Not a race I like and not a race we'd ever touch. 2 on top from 8, 1, 4, 7, 3. Race 3, Golden Addiction. This is going to start short. Finds a bit of trouble every now and this horse. It'll get back. It'll be running home strong. It's under the odds at 6-4. Again, another one, Moreira's. I would never be taking 6-4 about a horse like this with its racing pattern. Young talent, it goes well here. Purton goes on, so it must go in. Spoke to Carlo. Now, this is one that finally steps up to the right distance range, finally draws a barrier. I think this is could get up onto the speed, could even lead this if he wanted to. I'd like to see him take a trail at 10 or 12 to 1. It's got to go in. It's got a winning chance. Of the rest, number 9, Real General, 1, Always Something, and 11, all the winners. 3 on top from 4, 5, 9, 1 and 11. Race 4, very, very tough race. It's a 1,000-metre race with 10 chances. First leg of the TT, no jackpot. Certainly would never consider poking our nose into this. If there was a jackpot, we may be in a bit of trouble trying to sort this one out. I finished up with number 4, Fantastico, on top. Now, it's only had one run here. It was an ordinary effort. It's going a bit better now. Again, Moreira's on it. It's going to be under the odds. Its true price is around 8 or 10 to 1. It'll probably be half that. I wouldn't consider taking 4 or 5 to 1 this, but it's got a winning chance. Number 1, Brilliant Proposal, drawn barrier 1, may get shuffled back a bit here. Doesn't have the real early speed to go with them in the 1,000. But if Douglas White can get it off the rails mid-race, it can be in the finish. Nobody But You's drawn a marble, and England goes on. It's racing solid enough. It'll be storming home like it normally does. Creative Union, Ocean Roar have got some hope, but not aided by the barrier. There's 2 in here out of track work and trials that may have a chance at massive prices, and should one of these run in the money, I would assume that that'd just about knock everybody out. That's number 5, Great Run, and number 11, Excel Oneself. Both of these are going much better at the track than their form indicates, and could be blowout chances in a very, very tough race. 4 on top from 1, 3, 8, 9, 11, 5. Race 5, middle leg, pretty tough race also. Lovely Boys, but threatening to win one of these. Barrier 2 is going to help it a lot. Should get up onto the speed and get a good run. Ying Sing won well last time, coming from a mile away. You'd like to think it's not going to get that far back from barrier 3, but on its last win, must go in. Geronimo Meadow, this is drawn a marble, should get up onto the speed. This has got a chance at a bit of a price. Of the rest, 2 King Derby, 5 Smart Kids, and 1 Croesus look the best of the rest. Mr. Award runs its best races here, this track and distance. Depends how he rides it, Saborix. If he rides it well, it can run in the money. 10 on top from 6, 3, 2, 5, 1 and 7. Race 6, Choice Treasure's probably going to start very short in this. Deserves to be short against these. Most of these are no good. Hawthorn's the speed, but from barrier 8 may have to work a bit to get across. So I'm not sure. I mean, it won well last time, but it got a very, very soft lead and very soft sectionals, and they couldn't catch it when it kicked at the top of the straight. Don't think that's going to happen here, so it might be a bit risky this time. Swift Shadow looks the second best for me. Drawn well, racing well. It looks the obvious danger for me to Choice Treasure. Of the rest, Braveness, London Walk, Hawthorn, Nordic One, and General Iron look rough place chances. 1 on top from 7. Best of the rest, 6, 9, 5, 8, and 10. We go to race 7. Flying Chaparral, put them away pretty easy last time. This is its go, this track and distance. It's drawn well, 55 kilos, going to be hard to beat, probably be close to favourite. Absolute Fantasy, interesting riding change here. England goes on. Barrier 2, never seen a horse with so much luck at barrier draws. This thing draws barrier 1, 2, 3 or 4, 85, 90% of it starts. This is its go here. Happy Valley, 1650 inside draw. With him going on it, it's got a terrific chance. Been ridden by a couple of the Chinese guys who have torn it up a couple of times when it looked like it was a winning chance. Probably going to shave a few points off it because he's riding really well. So, but it's right prices around 6 or 7 to 1 against these. Formula One will be giving them a massive start and be charging home. And of the rest, probably First Sight Love, Emperor Claudius, and maybe the Stills one out of a bit of track work that could get home late. 7 on top from 6, 10, 8, 4 and 3. We get to the last race. This is a bit like the first race. I think the favourites here have got a few convictions. The favourite will probably be number 1 Ensemble. Now this is going up in class, top 60 kilos and barrier 12, and they're serving up 2 to 1, 5 to 2. Not for me ever at that price. For me, it's a 1,000 metre horse, much better 1,000 metre horse than a 1,200 metre horse, and the 60 kilos and barrier 12 is enough for me to take a risk in this race. The second favourite is probably going to be Metallic Star. Again, this one's a Sha Tin horse. Not keen on it at its price. And Dining Well come flying home first start in Hong Kong from a long way back, but that was Sha Tin. I'm not sure whether this tight turning track's going to suit its racing style. So they're the 3 favourites, and they've all got convictions. The 4th favourite is Exciting Dream, Douglas White from a wide gate. So not really keen on it either. And for that reason, I think this is a pretty decent betting race where we might be able to extract something in the queues. Shargy's the one that I've got on top. Now, the Apprentice couldn't hold this up last time. It got the better of him and opened up a big lead. It was a hell of an effort to hang on and get beaten 3 lengths, given the splits that it ran. Senior Rider goes on it. If he can settle it, even for 400 metres in the middle stages, it'll give him something to catch in the straight. Shouldn't be 15 to 1, this horse. New Deerfield. Douglas White's been riding this. Bar Wing goes on it. Drawn well, could ping out onto the speed and just sit behind them. It's got to go in at around 10 to 1. Ticing, yeah, terrific win first up, then got knocked over second up. This is its track and distance. Goes best here. Anglin goes on. It's 10 to 1. Happy to put it in. And Charity Spirit. I think this one must go in. Its trial at Happy Valley was terrific. And its 2 subsequent runs have been pretty solid. So its track work's okay. It's around 15 or 20 to 1, so it goes in. So there's a bit of value in this race, given that we don't like the favourites, and in my opinion, the favourites have got a couple of convictions. 3 on top from 10 to 4, and then best of the rest, 1, 12, 5 and 9. As I say, the markets tomorrow will determine whether we play these races 1 and 8. That'll be the only 2 races that are of any interest to us. We'll probably, if we are involved, I would say that we'd probably play the Quinella around the 4 horses or 5 horses in each race, and then we may look at a QP parlay or something along those lines. But we'd need all the horses to fit the pricing criteria to get the value. Spring Attack will kick back in on the weekend. Not sure what. I think there's races at Flemington and Rose Hill. Could be a bit light on the weekend, obviously with Boxing Day coming up. That's a massive day's racing, so I would say that that's more likely a scenario than the weekend, but we'll wait until Friday to have a look for that. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and good luck in anything that you play this week.